We were established in 2017 when there was an opportunity to purchase the development rights for our first turbine, which was a 900 kilowatt turbine in Carmarthenshire, which has been running and operating successfully since then. Last year, we installed a small solar farm, just short of 600 kilowatts, attached to that, sharing the same point of connection, which was one of the first co-located generating projects, as they're referred to in Wales. And then this then is our third generating asset that we're installing. We're also involved in supporting other organisations with smaller projects, some of which we have a direct interest in, but they don't have the same significance in terms of investment.
You've obviously already updated that we're at 70% of the share offer fundraise. But previous to that, we'd already secured a grant from the Welsh Government of about 1.5 million and a loan from the Development Bank of Wales for about 412k. So we've got quite a considerable funding package behind the project before starting the share offer. In terms of actual progress on site, as you're aware, we've purchased a turbine that we're refurbing, and that refurbishment is now complete, which has been delivered by a company in South Wales. So we're obviously pleased to keep that works within Wales. We are expecting civils works to start on site shortly, and we've already laid the cable route that will connect the turbine to its point of connection. So we're on target for installation of the turbine and final connection late March, early April, depending on the weather, of course. The cost of purchasing the turbine and the refurbishment has been covered by that grant and loan that I mentioned. So we'll be using the share offer funding to cover the costs then for that civils works and the installation that John was explaining.
We think about sustainability first. So as a board, we've got different people representing different organisations, and we think about sustainability because we're all mindful in Wales. We've got the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act, and with that, there's 4 pillars of sustainability. I believe in England there are 3. So we've got an additional one, which is culture and language. So we look at sustainability in terms of the environmental and the economic opportunities, as well as the social, cultural, and the language. So we look at opportunities that are usually presented to us, and if they fit our overall ambition of improving an area, making communities more resilient, bringing environmental and all the other benefits. So when we approve a project from our own internal way, we look then to see how we can bring more sustainability actions to that. So we're looking at, can we work with local people, whether it's legal, engineering, financial. So we're looking at how we can bring every part of sustainable working to projects. And having a refurbished wind turbine in this instance has been really good for our forward thinking as well. So obviously this has been refurbished in Wales. That's the closest place possible to the site of the turbine. And it's a huge opportunity that we then have used, not just for this project, we can use as a model going forward and as a model to speak to the sector through our relationship with YnNi Teg, Community Energy Wales. And we're working with with Welsh politicians on the agenda as well. So see if we can change the attitude to the sector as more and more of the larger wind farm turbines are coming offline. Are there opportunities to use turbines in country to be refurbished for community energy projects? What skills opportunities are there around that to upscale younger, and in the area that the company is that we're refurbishing the turbine at the moment next to Talbot Steelworks, and obviously there's a huge need to upscale or rescale people to re-employ. So there's a huge amount of thinking that goes into the sustainability, way beyond economic and environmental. And we're looking at sort of how we can use everything we do, every learning, this is all new for us, and apply that to our projects and to other elements in other parts of Wales and influence policy. I think one of the things we're keen to do is work with local organisations to identify need and to work out how we can give the profits made to the right places, because obviously the pot is finite. So we want to make sure that we have as much impact as possible, and that needs to come from the local communities. They know where the need is greatest. So we do try, the board as a team as well do go and meet people. So in the Carmarthenshire instance, we've gone and we met some of the local councillors, community councillors and county councillors, and John works with the school. So we try to get into the areas we're involved with so that we can identify needs. So when we're looking at applications that come in for funding and for support, we're more informed, or if we don't feel informed, we'll make sure we consult locally. And then we also have share, investors that also make decisions. So we advise the direction of travel, and then annually in our AGM, our investors then can shape what we do as well. So it's very inclusive. We try to be as aware of the impact we have in the areas that our project are as well. Jude, I don't know if you want to come in as well there.
Yeah, I can add that we're intended to have a local community fund year on year in the area, and as Mary suggested, we'll take the same approach as we have with our other assets in Carmarthenshire, where we're open to applications from the community for projects from that fund. But I'd also add in, because I think Ben, you mentioned about sort of jobs and that sort of thing. We've certainly through the construction phase been focused on looking at local contractors wherever possible. So our main civils contractors employing locally in terms of the engineering consultancy, groundworks contractor, HV electrical contractor, and our long-term O&M will be with a Wales-based company.
So we've got maps now and targets that have become quite hyper-local that we can use to identify opportunities going forward. So we're trying to feed into the LEAPs. So we've been part of the consultation on the local area energy plans, very aware of all the acts and policies around environmental, net zero and sustainability in Wales, which we try to make, as we touched on earlier, more of a holistic return as opposed to just net zero targets. We want, to support the average person to benefit from these opportunities, especially when they're happening in their area. So a share offer starts off at £100 per share. So £100 is the minimum at the moment, but we are looking in the future at ways of making even a share something that maybe a community or a street or a group can buy into as well. So it'll be even more affordable, because £100 is a lot today, and then it goes up to 100,000. So again, it's capped, so you can't have multinationals buying into some of these opportunities as well. So try to keep it affordable for all. So we are actively working with politicians. So we meet with Assembly, Senedd members, previously called Assembly members, and we're also planning ahead for post-election, because obviously we've got elections in the Senedd this May, and we are looking at potentially a whole new government. So we've been looking at modelling opportunities around which party would get in, how we can then build bridges with new politicians, maybe helping to inform politicians that are new to community energy. There is a lot of misunderstanding around renewable energy. It's a huge worry about extraction in Wales, and also how renewable energy can all be lumped into that one view. So it's about educating, not just people, but politicians as well, local government and Welsh Government politicians, about the benefits that community energy can bring to Wales and to regions and to counties, and also the speed that community energy, I know it's much smaller projects, we're looking at smaller returns, but the speed that we could move is much quicker than the larger projects and offshore and big wind farms, and the consultation that goes involved in those, and not necessarily any of the benefits remaining local as well. So I think we're feeding into more than just the net zero targets, but we are aware of them, and we've been part of the local area energy plan consultations as well. There's a good return, but what you are doing as well with that investment, it's more than just you're investing in something to get a return. You're actually investing in, it sounds corny, but in tomorrow, into the future, and supporting communities. We do try to focus our projects on communities that need that kind of benefit as well, that injection of investment in the grassroots work that's going along with it. So for me, the reason I'm passionate about community energy is, and I volunteer as a board member, and I'm always going to be involved in community energy, is because I want to support people through the way that also supports our environment and brings more than money to whether you're a shareholder or.
If you're investing in us, you're investing in our ability to empower the rest of our communities in Wales to do what we're trying to do the same thing.